Hello again, Football Rivals faithful. It's been a whirlwind start to free agency with bidding wars, trades, head coaching hires, and much more, so strap in and gather round for a major free agency update. First, the biggest dominoes to fall, literally, after the Andrew Frost fallout, were at the defensive interior, with several teams duking it out for the services of former Tokyo Riot defensive tackle Jalen Hancock. The big 25-year-old star nose tackle took his talents southwest, inking an astonishing 7-year, $133 million contract with the Nexus Conference champion, Albuquerque Dukes. With veteran Philip Overton retiring post-Rivals Cup loss, the Dukes wanted to give Juan Baker a stout new running mate, and Hancock certainly fits the bill. Meanwhile, the Apex Conference 2 seed, the Canton Crush, wanted to beef up along the interior and opted for a bit more of a stout, veteran run stuffer in Raphael Childers. The former Pittsburgh Prowler was not resigned by head coach / GM Shaka Caesar, leading to a bidding war in free agency, which GM Stein Russian was all too happy to win, getting the big man back to Canton. Meanwhile, the Prowlers were able to make a big splash themselves on defense at the second level as they signed middle linebacker Terrence Sasser away from the Houston Hoplites. Sasser was one of the lone bright spots for a hopeless Hoplite team last season and should look to instantly upgrade the Pittsburgh defense, hoping to propel them to the playoffs in year 2. The 5-year, $67.5 million contract will keep this former Rookie of the Year in Pittsburgh through his age 30 season. Back in Tokyo, they replaced Hancock with the lesser-considered Marcus Farrell, who played with the Rhinos last year but was not resigned. More notably for Tokyo, however, was building a great wall along the offensive line, signing 3 players that could be immediate starters in front of Rookie of the Year superstar running back Johnny the Hobbit Hobbs. Can this great wall offer greater chances for Hobbs and Razor Ramon Hamilton to get past the Nexus Conference title game next season? Only time will tell for Tokyo. On to the coaching carousel. It spins, and ultimately, it stopped on the money for a few bright coaches who are getting their shot at the big chair. The Rivals Cup champion Buffalo Brawlers suffered some critical losses, losing both of their coordinators to head coaching vacancies around the league. An unfortunate byproduct of winning it all, you start to lose some too. The Mexico City Firebirds swooped in first and fast, identifying their guy in offensive mastermind Gary Crawford, responsible for dialing up a record-setting MVP season for QB Andrew Frost and rushing leading season for halfback Ronnie Leake. Crawford is considered a QB whisperer, and the Mexico City front office is hoping that he can say all the right things to last year's second-round pick, Taylor McKinney. RBN insiders indicate that the Firebirds are flirting with former QB George Truman to make a homecoming, giving Crawford a strong veteran hand if McKinney can execute the complicated offensive system out of the gate. In more Firebird news, there are rumblings that Crawford may be looking to bring some of the offensive coaching staff and roster with him to Mexico City. So there may be more than smoke with the Brawlers to Firebirds connections before it's all said and done. And next, to strip pieces from the defending champs, the San Antonio Law hiring Brawlers defensive coordinator and engineer of the #1 ranked defense across every category in year 1, Benjamin Brew. The new sheriff at the Alamo knows he's going to have to whip this team into shape and was a noted disciplinarian in Buffalo, far from a player's coach that some may have accused his counterpart, new Firebirds boss Gary Crawford, of being. No, Brew's crew will find out that two-a-days are the norm and expect some of veteran quarterback Neil Bolden's biggest plays next season to include handing it off and watching as the powerful 1-2 punch of Matt Broyles and Nate Carter pound the rock at the halfback spot. Brew has already acknowledged wanting to get more physical up front on defense and indicated that he's requested Brawlers GM Doug Baxter discuss him bringing a player or two of the defensive front seven from Buffalo down to San Antonio with him. And while we're speaking of stripping away coaches, look no further than the junkyard in Canton, as their number 1 overall pick QB Jimmy McNamara blossomed under offensive coordinator Nathan Castanon. Well, continuity be damned, because the Mojo have hired Castanon as their new head coach, hoping he can sprinkle some of that Jimmy Mac magic onto the Mojo offense, which sputtered under veteran QB Zach Burr last season. If you're looking for a good luck charm, how about someone from your own backyard? The year one's worst team and holder of the number 1 overall pick in the year 2 Pro League draft, the Houston Hoplites, did just that, staying in Texas and hiring a college coordinator to be their new head coach. Offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, Kevin Tyndall, gets a chance to brace the shield in Houston with an army of loyal football fanatics ready to have his back. And the final shoe to drop from that spinning carousel belonged to the Austin Strangers, who took, as always, the unconventional path of hiring a special teams coordinator with no head coaching experience, Kevin Bell, as the newest leader in the weird place. Bell, the Duke's special teams coordinator last season, did oversee an outstanding set of kick, punt, and coverage units, so maybe his special brand of football knowledge will translate from his days as a long snapper to the de facto leader of the Strangers. Is that all? It is for now. But fear not, there could be more news to break at any moment, so keep your eyes open and your fandom fierce. And we'll catch you next time with another free agency update here on the Rivals Broadcast Network.